This is the Mercedes E Class Coupe, and it's just as elegant as the saloon, only a little bit more youthful. So you can think of it as being like Pippa Middleton compared to her older sister, Kate. Anyway, was that a little bit sexist? Okay, yeah, maybe we should do something again, a little less misogynistic, a bit more inclusive. This is the Mercedes E Class Coupe, and it's just as elegant as the saloon, only a bit more youthful. So you can think of it as being like Liam Hemsworth compared to his older brother, Chris. And the price differential, like for like, from this saloon to this coupe, it's only about £1,000. So this car starts around £40,000. If you click up there to go to carwow.co.uk, you can configure your ideal car, get offers back from dealers, and compare prices without having to haggle. This is a beautiful looking car on the outside, and on the inside, it's just as lovely. So in the UK, you can only get the car in AMG line, but that means it's got loads of kit as standard. You've got these rather nice sport seats with leatherette covering. I mean, it's not real leather, but it feels good enough. And this one's got this wood veneer in it. I mean, wood can look awful in cars, but this is absolutely gorgeous. There's lots of kit on this car as well, so you get things like, look, an electric steering column as standard. You get electrically operated seats, they're heated as well. Like I say, fully loaded. The only slight problem is the infotainment system. So most cars come with an 8-inch screen. This is actually the upgraded 12-inch system with command online, and you get that with the 6-cylinder engine, the V6 petrol. And you do want to upgrade to this if you have one of the 4-cylinder cars, because it just looks great, and you can get it with this smart-looking digital driver's display. Now, if you click up there, you can actually see my full in-depth video review of this infotainment system. One thing I should point out, though, is that these controls, these touch-sensitive controls on the steering wheel, do take a little bit of getting used to. And it's an all right system to use. It's not as easy to use as it is good to look at, unfortunately. But on the whole, yeah, lovely in here. And there's some decent practicality with big door bins and a little bit of room under there. Will it fit? No. Wish I hadn't shown that now. And there's some more cup holders here, which are big enough for fatter bottles. Now, one of the problems with coupes is that there's not much room in the back of them. That sloping roofline does affect the old headroom. I'll just get this out of the way. I'll try to get this out of the way so you can see what's going on. Now let this seat come back electrically. It's not the fastest, but it's nice and smooth. So here we go. Look, I've got enough leg room. Even if I sit up straight, I have got enough headroom. However, if someone's over 6 foot, they will find their head touching the roof. It won't be so great for them. Still, there are some nice features in here. For instance, all the seats fold down and they split 3 ways, so you can carry things through there and still 2 people either side. Great if you fancy a skiing trip. Now, let's look at the boot itself. The capacity is actually pretty big. You can fit lots of stuff in it. However, because it's shallow, it does restrict what you actually can fit in there. So yeah, just be wary of that. However, there are still some nice features in this boot. So there's tethering points, there's some storage area here. There's a hook to hang your shopping off so it doesn't roll around when you get around the corners. And you can release the rear seats by pulling onto these levers. And under here, you've got a little bit of extra storage and the classic Mercedes kind of origami box for carrying your groceries, I guess. Yeah, now if you want to see just how much stuff you can fit in this car's boot, click up there to watch my detailed practicality video. You'll also be able to see what it's like with 2 people in the back with 1 large person and how easy it is to fit a child seat. Now it might seem a bit unnecessary to have an electric tailgate for a boot on a car such as this, but really with a Mercedes, nothing should be manual. And anyway, then you can look at this beautiful bottom. Now then, it's time to hit the road to see what this car's like to drive. This Mercedes E Class Coupe is a blooming lovely car to drive around town, so you feel cocooned from the outside world. The 9-speed automatic gearbox slushes gears together nice and seamlessly, and there's enough punch from the engines to just poke you ahead of the riffraff away from the lights. Then there's a suspension which does a fabulous job of ironing out the bumps in the road. This one is on the upgraded air suspension, and it just adds an extra layer of floaty sophistication to the car. You should definitely get this because it kind of just pampers your bottom up. I love it. Now, one thing to note though, when you're driving this car around town, is that it is big and the visibility isn't as good as in the E-Class saloon. So the view out the back window is pretty limited, and this sweeping pillar here, it's quite fat, it's close to your face, so yeah, it does obscure your view somewhat. Now, if you click up there, you can see for yourself by watching my 360-degree passenger ride video. Now, if you want to head out onto a twisty road, you can press this button to put the car into sports mode, which firms up the suspension. But don't get too carried away because it doesn't feel quite as sporty as something like the more expensive BMW 6 Series. The steering, it's a little bit too rubbery. The body still rolls through the corners. And yeah, it's a little bit of a boat because it's a big old car. But that doesn't mean you can't have some fun with it. You get a nice flow with it actually, and it is quite satisfying. Here I am in my big Mercedes, bringing all that tea back to England. Woohoo! Where this car's most at home though is on the motorway. It's a fabulous long distance cruiser, so it's super quiet to travel in. The seats are comfy, it's just got a brilliant air of luxury about it. The engines are good too. In the UK there's 3 choices. There's a 2-litre diesel, which most people will probably get, and it does good economy and it's fast enough. I'd rather have the 2-litre turbo petrol in this car because it's faster, it's smoother, and it's a bit of fun to rev it out. Now it's returning 32 miles per gallon, which isn't that great though. What's also not great is that when you have the car in sports mode and you put your foot down, it makes this noise. Now the noise isn't bad, but I think it's, well, part of it's artificially produced through the car's speakers, and it's a little bit boy racery really for a Mercedes. That's just not right. I mean, you may be better off going for the 3-litre diesel. Yes, it's more expensive, but it does come with all-wheel drive and a big V6. You know, it's just going to suit this car so well. Another thing to note is that when you have the car in Sport Plus mode and you want to change gears yourself manually using these paddles, it does this simulated sporty thing by jolting the gear changes, and you get this surge in between them. And it just seems a little bit wrong. I don't know why they've done that. Why have you done that, Mercedes? It's just, yeah, it ain't great. Turn that off, please. Right then, it's time for the Car Wow 5 annoying things about the Mercedes E Class Coupe. You wouldn't expect to find a piece of plastic this flimsy and nasty, even in a Dacia, let alone this £40,000 Mercedes. Most of the plastics in here are pretty lovely, but they're brittle and hard down here, and you might touch them whenever you're using the door bin. Now, if this was a BMW, this would also be soft touch material. This 2-litre petrol is pretty rattly at tick over. In fact, it sounds a bit like a diesel. I do wish Mercedes would stop putting its signature on every car's windscreen. It's just a little bit unnecessary. These huge doors are super heavy and you don't want to get in their way when they start to close. Thankfully, the Mercedes E Class Coupe has plenty of cool features which help to make up for all this. Here's 5. The definition of this reversing camera and that 360-degree surround camera is absolutely glorious. You can change the interior ambient lighting between lots of different colours, so yes, if you want red you can have that. Or maybe you've got the blues one day, yeah, that'll suit your mood there. Or if you're bright and sunny, go for a slightly yellowy orange colour. Lovely. The frameless doors are really cool. I mean, it's absolutely lovely when you put the windows down. A little electronic butler hands you your belt when you shut the door, so you don't have to reach around. The green paint on this car is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, who'd have thought that green would be the colour to have? But I think it is. Now, if you click up there, you can go to carwow.co.uk for more information and to find out the very best prices you can get on this Mercedes E Class Coupe. So then, what's my overall verdict on this car? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the Mercedes E Class Coupe. It's a little bit expensive and it's not actually that sporty to drive, but it's still a lovely thing to be in and it looked gorgeous. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and click up there to subscribe to our channel. Up there for my 360-degree passenger ride video, down there for my detailed practicality video, and down there for my detailed infotainment video review of the E Class Coupe. Now, did you spot the Easter egg in this video? Yep, no? Anyway, it was the song Exclusive Coupe playing on the stereo.